Tonight, as primetime comes to you from the modern-day Coliseum, two former teammates of once the highly touted War Camp will do battle for the PlayStation Championship. Entering first, the challenger B3, Sean Corkery, a pressure-heavy kickboxer with combinations that shut out your lights in a moment's notice. His distance management and laser point precision makes him a dangerous challenger to the throne. His affiliation with the B3 camp means he is in great company and has all the confidence in the world. Best of luck to my former teammate Trials, all respect in the world on my end. Let's put on a show. But in order for Sean to raise gold for Ireland, he must defeat one man. Enter the two-time primetime champion, CK Trials, a dominant competitor, a man who stands in the middle of a cage and will match lever to lever. An explosive knockout artist with knowledge of the stand-up and counters that are second to none. There is a reason he's a two-time primetime champion and most dwindle under the pressure he puts on. Me and Sean are go way back. Nothing but respect and best wishes. We're about to create a fight of the year contender. So, with all that being said, strap in and prepare for a mental card that culminates in a lightweight bout for the ages. Defending the PlayStation Championship. Welcome to Primetime.
Hey guys, today should be a great night of fights, Doctor. We got a big event today. We got CK Trials versus B3, Sean Corkery. We got Trixie versus Caliber, Jackson versus Perp. I don't think we got that fight no more. We got the return of TMF Ginger. What fight are you looking forward to the most, Doctor?
Yeah, indeed, as you mentioned, Jackson. So, just a quick rundown of events before we get into the card itself. I'm Doctor, this is Jay Diamond. Hopefully, we should have Humble Dink join us shortly. I think he's just busy getting a bit stuck up the tree of doom. But going back to this card, as you mentioned, you've got CK Trials in that main event. Such a good fight. You got the co-main event, which is BFAP Trixie and the late replacement notice of all the time, Mr. KM Caliber. Jackson's fight is off. You do have martial rival Seth stepping in against Eagle MMA as well. And it should be noticed that in the first fight this evening, LW Lepo is no longer under the LW camp, but instead, he'll be under ICB. ICB making his return. Also picked up Brady and the Pug, part of that camp now, so that's going to be an interesting one to see how much he can do under a new camp here. Done.
Yeah, no more LW than TFA. The Pug is no longer TFA. That's crazy. That's really crazy. What does ICB stand for first?
In Cold Blood is a former camp back in UFC 3. The mighty Zayaf started it up, if I'm not mistaken, and I ended up part of it at one point, and then it got disbanded, fell apart, and now Lepo's looking to bring it back, it seems.
They're bringing it back to life again. And tell me about his opponent, Kante. That's what it says,
Kante,
right? Kante
seems to be like a highly titular opponent.
I don't think I've ever seen Kante fight.
Well,
Have you seen
Kante
Kante?
also guns on the name Aiden1706, I'm not mistaken. It should be noted that Kante does train with the BFAT boys, somewhat not officially part of any camp so far. I think this time around he's got the TMF crew cornering him, so that's going to be an interesting one. So I think with all us hyping up their beginning fight, let's get straight into the action so far tonight.
I see Cody Garbrandt versus Song Yadong. That's an interesting fight because they're very similar on this game in a way, but Cody got that 98 power. That will never change, but his chin isn't good. So if someone has an 89 power, it's going to feel like a 99, Doctor.
Yeah, it's just going to be an interesting one because of Cody's chin is so bad, but at the same time, you do have the fact if Song Yadong will probably hit quite hard. Hang on, I've lost my train of thought here. Take over for me whilst I refigure it out. Oops.
I got you. So we got Cody No Love Garbrandt versus Song Yadong. And if I'm not mistaken, Song Yadong's like the new guy at Team Alpha Male. He's kind of replacing Cody because you remember Cody was the guy on Team Alpha Male. He was the guy set to take down Dominic Cruz. Now we got new blood, Song Yadong. So this is the battle of the Team Alpha Male teammates right now.
It's going to be an interesting one to say the least. Cody, known for his power, no chin. Song Yadong's got pretty good boxing. However, with the power of Cody on the receiving end, he may have a couple issues with that chin here tonight.
Yeah, that if I'm Song Yadong, I can't stay in the pocket with Cody because I may catch a shot. But then again, Cody don't have a chin, so it's really pick your poison, doctor. Ooh, already.
Playing very aggressively there. The chin of Kante is already getting dangerously hurt. Lepo's playing quite aggressively. However, Kante's coming back with that jab. Does catch him with the uppercut there as well. Both of them engaged very nicely here, Jay. But you got to imagine they want to keep all their P's and Q's in check and not get too over aggressive. Only being 2 minutes into this first round here.
Yeah, they're already going at it. And I'm already scared for Cody's chin. I'm scared for Song Yadong's chin. Like, I'm shaking right now, doctor.
I'm not sure I would be shaking if I'm getting punched in the face, but that's just my opinion here. Both these are fighters well versed in the art of combat, as you see there, digging down to the body, coming up top as well, knowing what combos to throw, and they are landing cleanly. If they're not landing on each other's faces, they're landing on the block here.
Yeah, and Song Yadong block is starting to get low. So if I'm Cody, I'm gonna apply smart pressure, start to break his block a little bit, but don't get overzealous because your chin still sucks, Cody.
Well, a spinning heel kick does more damage to the body than it did to the head, which it was aimed at. And now both of these guys are going back to the simple boxing, very aggressive. Does look like the health stats of Song Yadong have been more hurt than Cody's. See the power of Cody landing always and doing a lot of damage here.
Yeah, and I'm scared for Song Yadong's block because, ooh, nice. Even if it's not hitting his face, it's hitting his block, and his block is starting to get lower. And that's dangerous against somebody like Cody.
It's very dangerous, but it seems like Song Yadong's happy to keep this pace going, happy to keep the fight going to this high-paced action. Those triple jabs coming out, really working down that block. Cody in retaliation, but every time he seems to have the straight there to come out to really make notes to the chin there.
Honestly, I'm surprised nobody got dropped. When I first seen the characters they picked, I thought somebody would get dropped a few times in the first round because these are two, how do I say it? These are two brawlers for real. I'm about to call you humble, Doc. These are two brawlers for real.
Yeah, these are very much two brawlers, both of them brawlers in their own right. Differences, though, Cody doesn't have the chin to cope. He does have the power, and that makes him a living nightmare if your chin's even slightly sketchy, because you're just going to keep getting clobbered. And but look at it, the head health is lower in the favour of Song Yadong here.
Yeah, it is, but he's starting to slip, and he's starting to catch Cody a little bit, but Cody still has the advantage right now. I think he's winning this round. It's a close round, though.
It's a very close round, doing green knee rhythm, getting the drops or stuns. The rear hook just at the end could have got a drop or stun, but the round ended just before then. That round, I would argue Lepo, but you could argue away. By the looks of it, though,
no, it's Lepo, the stun. It's the stun.
Yeah. And here we are again. Lead hooks coming out. The jabs are also coming out. Slip hooks to the side. Takedown attempt by Lepo, knowing he's been a true vet of the game. He knows the idea of don't stay too long on the feet, otherwise your opponent starts making really good reads. Mix it up, get those confused, and force them to have to make adjustments to the ground, because when they get back on the feet, normally they're quite high paced.
Yeah, when people get up, when they're on the ground, when they finally get up, if the ego plays into it, they want to get it back in blood, so they start fighting at 100 miles per hour. Doc, you said it right.
Yeah, they start fighting 100 miles an hour. So far, though, Kante staying fairly paced, and so this should be fairly... well, takedown. Now looking for the takedown. The reversal doesn't get it, and we're looking like this. Lepo probably wants a more grappling base fight here tonight.
Oh, the sweep. I was
lovely.
about to say Cody could do good. This grappling the whole time, but now Song Yadong's on top, so this may get interesting now, Doc.
Yeah, it may get interesting. A couple of shots there. Does go to the chin as well. Does decide to disengage, going back up to the feet. He's had issues here before, but maybe he sees something we don't as he lands that hook or uppercut. Hook uppercut there, and now we are going back to this jab straight battle. Slip hook tails come out there, doubles up on the hooks himself, goes to engage on the uppercut, but slides against it there. Dime. These two are wanting to really showcase their boxing, and they're showing it nice and cleanly here.
Ooh, that's great takedown defense. Because Cody has shot for a lot of takedowns. If I was Song Yadong, you know what I would do right now? I would keep on that double jab. He was having success with the jab because Cody's not moving his head, Doc.
Yeah, Cody isn't moving his head a lot, so the hooks, the straights will definitely do major damage here, but it's just a question of can you get on the inside. It seems like Cody's stepping behind that black line, hovering on it to really get his opponent to hop into that pocket, but then he's really managing that footwork just nicely to create a lot of distance here.
Yeah, but I was about to say, this is a better round for Song Yadong because if I'm not mistaken, he hasn't got stunned this round either, Doc.
No, he hasn't got stunned, but it's looking like that may be a bit more different. Having a knee to the head, the hook there, follows suit, does go for a pullback, lands it, and doesn't leave. And now we are back into these two engaging, ding down to the body as well, but maybe a little too late. Got the end of this round and the beginning of the next to really do the body work, but that may be a little too late. As I say that combo comes out again, Dime.
Yeah, and you said the body work. I feel like if you're going to the body, you got to invest in it early. The second round is almost over, going to the third. I'm not going to say it's too late, but it may be too late to start going to the body heavy, unless he's stunned, Doc.
A little finger wag by Cody Garbrandt. Interestingly enough, the one combo that seems to be always landing on Aleppo is that lead uppercut. The lead hook into rear uppercut, lead hook into rear uppercut. It's a very weird combo. That's straight though, and a cartwheel kick.
The buzzer with 1 second left, he ends it with a cartwheel kick.
1 second left. A slip straight off to the side, and he is met in the face by a cartwheel kick. That was in Leppo's fashion. See, the return of ICB is met with a bang. The first win on the ICB's roster is Leppo getting a cartwheel KO.
Oh my! Hey, listen to me. If I was his opponent, we got to fight in the parking lot. Like and that's almost like spitting on somebody. He ended it with a cartwheel kick at the buzzer. Like we got to fight in the parking lot.
1 second left. Jesus wept. We've got a UFC card coming on, but these are the fights you've come to look. That was a brawl and a half, and that ending was a prime time guarantee ending. And with that, I think Humble now joins us in the booth.
What a fight that was, guys. And the craziness about the end of that fight, the cartwheel kick catches him clean. He goes out cold on the mat. What an absolute way to start prime time tonight, J-Dime.
Man, do you actually see what happened, Humble? Did you get back in time to see it?
I watched the last 2 rounds of that fight, and I put it in the chat.
You said you put that in the chat. I did not.
Humble just muted himself.
Come on, Humble. What are you doing, man? You already messing up. You just got here.
How's it been, boys? And this is me. Like, we've got a fantastic card tonight. Let's not kid ourselves. It's going to be great. We've got Trixie versus Caliber in the co-main event. For God's sake, that's going to be an absolute banger, J-Time. What? I know you've talked about it already, but what stands out for you in this card?
I'm interested in seeing Brady. Sorry to cut you off there, Dime. I'm interested in Brady. Brady's now part of that ICB camp. Aleppo started off showing the ICB camp being such a fantastic show there, and by the looks of it, the next fight really wants to already go ahead, so we're just going to cut straight into that, it seems.
Okay, so next fight, what do we have? Is it Ginger? Ginger next, guys.
I believe it's Ginger.
Yeah, it's Ginger versus Haki Tai. Haki? I'm not sure. Haki? I can't pronounce your name, matey, so you'll just be referred to whatever your fighter's name is. We'll get your name sorted for in the future. These two are going to again be in the bantamweight division. We're going to have a Song Yadong versus Cody, this time on the Xbox division instead of the PS here, Humble.
Nice work right there. He comes straight in. Oh, they trade all the hands and one of them gets caught. Ginger Ninja showing why he is a man who likes to move like a ninja. Look at that beautiful shot, J-Dime.
Yeah, and he's trying to get revenge for what happened to Song Yadong last fight. You see the way he stunned him off the break? Ginger, a.k.a. Blake, is doing his thing right now.
Blake?
It's an inside.
Okay, then.
It's an inside joke, Doctor, but it still works. Ginger, Ninja, and Blake are two of alike. Well, these two fighting differently tonight as Ginger takes the opponent down to the mat. Cody Garbrandt tries to get a fake in there, and he passes into half guard, Doc. He's on top of him now. What should you look for?
Well, he wants to be looking to get out of that full guard, back into half guard. You got the side control, you got top mount, does go for the top mount, gets denied now. A postured up, do a bit of the damage, making sure that GA doesn't go in your opponent's favour is also crucial here because he has allowed that now, looking to get himself into half guard, gets denied now, probably going to get reversed here, does go for the back sitting, interestingly enough, does get it here, Dime.
Ooh, that's nice. I knew he'd go right back down there. And Cody's looking good right now on the ground because Song Yadong was piecing him up at the beginning, and this is a good change of events right here, Humble.
Ooh, and he escapes right there. Nice high-level move from Song Yadong with Ginger. He used the get-up, which not many people can time or do, Doctor.
Yeah, it's a good get-up if you can. It's always something you've got to be wary of whenever you're a grappler and you're on bottom and you're just trying to control your opponent because it's such a risky get-up and it's so annoying when your opponent does get it here, Don.
Yeah, and right now, ooh, that's nice. If y'all noticing, Ginger's having some success with a slip straight, Humble.
Yeah, he is definitely. Look at that. He's throwing it enough, though. A lot of times, again, he comes off the centre line and nearly catches him, as you said, in another slip. These two seem to really kind of catch the clip with slips. I'm kind of waiting to see who stands in the middle, holds the ground, and then throws a combination, waiting for the other one to slip to catch them, essentially, get down.
Yeah, you're right. And Cody's slipping in them body uppercuts. He's slipping them in. He's being real sneaky with it, Doc.
Yeah, the body work is doing dividends. Have got to be noting that the actual stamina of Ginger is still fairly high, so haven't done that much damage there. But both of these guys are just having a boxing fest, just reading each other, slipping off to the side, clipping each other non-stop here, Humble.
Yeah, I'm really liking the footwork from both guys as well. One of the guys is trying to quit him off. In Cody, you've got Ginger on the outside. He's utilised his footwork really well, J-Dime. He keeps stepping off to the side, even if he's getting caught.
Oh,
he gets dropped. This could be it.
You mentioned the word call, and instead Ginger decides that the reversal is what he wants. Does go into the half guard now. Now he's got to be wary of that low stam. Could get the top mount. Doesn't get it though because he gets caught a couple times. That ground and pound though, doing quite a lot of damage, ending the first round.
That was a great first round. That's Cody's round because of the drop, but it was a real close round, Humble.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes I think how exciting is like esports MMA to watch. Sometimes like you look at other esports events and you watch something like our event. You watch two fantastic fights where there's some incredible action going on now. A very high level skill, Doctor.
Yeah, well, that is the primetime guarantee. What you get when you watch these events, it's the true to a code. You've just got these action-packed fights non-stop, and these two are part of that roster here, Jay.
Yeah, and it's just so ironic how we get the matchup from last fight, and it's living up. It's another barn burner of a fight, Humble.
Exactly that, and it makes you feel good. It makes you feel that you want to come back to your time. It makes you feel like you want to compete. These two are going at it right now in the center of the octagon, and a great takedown defense from Cody, and he's been really good. And since that knockdown, he's stuck to his guns, Doctor. He's had some good success. He's kept it consistent. He's kept it sharp, and he's kept it clean every single time in this fight. And so far, I have him ahead on the scorecards.
Yeah, he is definitely ahead on the scorecards, I would do, but the judges work in wonderful and mysterious ways to slip straight into the overhand. Both of them have been throwing it all night long. Cody did get a knockdown with it earlier, so maybe Ginger is hoping for the same. Now we're going to a teep and barrel. Lovely bit of movement, gets himself away from the cage, putting Cody's back against the cage now here, Tumble.
Nice work. Oh, beautiful slip, though. He didn't have enough in the tank there to kind of put him away. You'd expect a rock there with Cody's chin. Jay?
Yeah, but I was talking to Cody the other day, and he was telling me he's on the Jamba Juice. USADA didn't test him, so his chin gets a +10 right now, Humble.
Oh, that's nice. And, Song Yadong, though, training from the same gym, this has got to give him an advantage, Doc. In real life, these two know each other so well, and these two look like they might have sparred a few times.
Yeah, I do look like I might have sparred a few times just with how much of a pace they're doing, how much of a feeling that process win the first round. But again, sparring and league fights are completely different. If you want to test your true skill, this is where you come to do it, Dime.
Yeah, and for me, after this, they're gonna get a beer together. As as teammates. They didn't went to war, so they're gonna hug it out after. They're probably both gonna be in the hospital bed together.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
Oh, Jesus. Web.
Oh my!
That massively changed all of a sudden. The body health of Jin now ripped apart those couple of knees. You've got to be so wary when your opponent is against the cage, because those knees are sneaky and they can do a lot of damage very quickly here, Humble.
Yeah, you've got to be careful of how many shots you throw when you've got this amount of stamina. This is where shot selection comes incredibly important. And this is where... Oh! Yeah, he's got him rocked. He's got him rocked. Oh! You want to see a dead body?
The
dead body.
overhand of Doom comes in over the top, knocks Cody clean out. It looked like Cody was making the comeback. Not Cody, he kept that pace on from the first round, and then all of a sudden you have Song Yudong come out and just land stun and just get a clean KO there, Humble.
If you watch his hands going down, he's like flapping, look. Oh my god, he comes down and he rests in peace, like the Undertaker would say. Exactly that, J Dime. That man needs a coffin. A fantastic fight, but you know what? Great fight from both competitors. It was an absolute excellent fight throughout, and a big rock and a big stun right there to end the fight.
He just killed the man. Like, he really just killed the man. Like, he didn't get slept. He got killed. There's a difference. You can get slept. He killed him. He put him in the dirt, Humble.
Oh, he did enough. He did indeed. And Doctor, the next fight this evening, hopefully we're going to have that one ready to go in a second. Can you tell us a bit about that one?
We will be having Eagle War versus a late replacement of Martial Rival. Eagle MMA versus Martial Rival War. Ending up looking at that one. This will be in the flyweight division. It'll be also on the PlayStation side this time, Humble.
Oh, that's a nice fight. Eagle MMA is a great fighter. I fought him recently, and the other time I was going to say I fought every single person on the PlayStation side, but I fight these guys regularly, and Eagle MMA, he lit me up for a full round. I was surprised. He's not just that he can strike, he can also grapple as well. He can mix it in really well. Likes the Dagestani fighters, as you can probably tell by his name. But he's got Martial Rival War. Martial Rival War in season, I think it was 3 or 2. Doctor, he was ranked really high in the PlayStation division. He did fantastic throughout that season. So it'll be interesting to see, because these two are very high level guys.
Yeah, both of these high-level guys. Eagle started out competing. He did set his original fight on 5 rounds. Hopefully we won't get this time, as well as the fact he fought the mighty Styles, and it really impressed us that time round. So hopefully it should be the same round, especially like a true veteran within prime time of Martial Rival here tonight.
It looked like, oh my gosh. Okay, I was about to say it was good ping, but it jumped for a second. It's good ping right now. I was about to say.
Oh, you did realise that maybe having on 3 rounds would be the correct idea?
No, I'm glad.
He's a genius.
You know what? Actually,
He's a genius.
This is a great time to mention. Please make sure you've got your settings ready. Make sure you've got everything ready before we come to you. Because as you've seen these guys, I'm glad they did it. But if that fight had started, J-Dan, how many times we've seen it? It's a 5-round fight, and we have to finish in 3. And it's an absolute freaking nightmare for the fans, because sometimes those 5-round fights are just different.
Yeah, but guess what? You seen the 100 IQ. You seen he realized it was in 5 rounds, and he changed it. There's a lot of people that don't change it, and you're stuck on these 5-round fights. You got to end it in the 3rd round. You know what I'm saying? That was 100 IQ. So I'm going to take a bow for that one, Doctor.
Yeah, congratulations for making sure it didn't happen for the 3rd time. So, touch your gloves here now. We've got John Dodson in the blue gloves, Pantoja in the red.
I love you, Doc. 3rd time, stop. Here we go. Pantoja is going back to the centre of the octagon, and these two have decided to meet in the middle and just absolutely throw it down J-Dan. But these are flyweights. They can land a few punches, and when you do get hit with a few, sometimes you tend to back up. So I fancy John Dodson with the hands, but Pantoja's got to mix it up. He's really got to mix up the levels like he does right there.
Yeah, he did mix up level. I was about to say John Dodson has 4-star boxing. I don't want to just box with John Dodson the whole time. And he did the right thing by taking him to the ground, Doc. What do you think he should do from here?
Well, I mean, the elbows are definitely going to be the way for Pantoja. With Dodson, probably we should look for the get up from here. The backside does Bradley is quite effective. If you can move him in towards the cage a bit more, you could go for that up get up, which is very quick here. But instead, he's going to go for the side control. Does get it denied, and now we get to see Pantoja holding his back here, Humble.
Yeah, definitely you're on the right track as well there, Doc, to get up. I like to think I'm quite good at that. It's one of my favourite positions near the fence. And you are completely right. He needed to get himself there. He wasn't proactive. He let his opponent move around him. And on this game, you've got to be proactive sometimes, especially in the first round. And the reason is you've got to understand what your opponent's going to block and not block. You have to know the level of grappling that you're coming up against, Jay Dime.
Yeah, you said it right. And now John Dodson is stuck in top mount, and he can be held here all day, Humble.
100%. He needs to build his grappling advantage. Essentially, if you're new to the game and you're just kind of watching it for the first time, or you're not quite sure, the grappling advantage is just above the players right now. It goes up, it goes red and blue each side, and you've got to build that up, Doc. And the way you build that majority is you've got to get them to bite on fakes, and you've got to land small grappling ground and pound, to build that up. Am I right on that?
Yeah, you make him bottom face. You use that punching motion like he's doing there. It's called rabbit punching, at least that's what I call it. And he works so effectively because of this is what the grappling game is. It's a patient game. Some refer to a chess game. It really is just about patience. It's patience, waiting for your opponent to make a mistake, and then capitalizing on it. You can see both of them so far just waiting for each other to move, but just get a half guard posture up there, digs down to that body as well, and now both of them are playing at a steady pace here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. He can take this round by just doing this. Just getting these shots and just being right on top of him. You know what I'm saying? Hit him to the body right here. Hit him, get some face shots. Stay right there in his guard. I'm not saying I agree with it, but I'm saying Humble. He can do this for the rest of the round.
100% do it, but Jed, I'm putting my neck on the line right now, and something must break. Either that you're on the bottom, you need to kind of move, and you need to get out, and you need to do something, and you've got to kind of take a risk here and there. Or if you're on top, you've got to get to a better position, like mount and test your skills from there. You can't remain in half guard just to land. You've got to try and finish the fight because you don't know if you get back to the feet if he smokes you.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you what. He can do this to the end of the round, okay? So it won't get back to the feet, Humble.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, there was no test in that. I didn't like the fact he didn't try to get up off the ground. He didn't try to get himself in a position where he
was just content. It looked like he was just content. Just sitting there, laying there, he was just content. He should try to be active off his back and make something happen, Doc.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Well, being on your back's always a fun time. That's really a dictatorship of if you're a good grappler or not. Having good top game in this game isn't really noteworthy, but if you've got a really good bottom game, that is something to take note of here. And now both of these guys are going at it again on the feet because every fight starts standing, and Dodson is taking a massive advantage of that here.
That was nice. That was a nice flurry by John Dodson. He's starting to tee up a little bit with the hands, Humble. He's starting to tee up, bro.
He's starting to catch him. This is exactly what I was talking about. You've got to put your opponent on a detriment if you're on top as well. Like, especially if he's not trying to get up, Doctor. You've got to try to get him out and land some big ground and pound because the second round comes out and John Dodson is starting to tee off. Pantoja, as he comes in, Pantoja giving him some knuckles back.
Oh, that was a lovely trip into that side control position, just falling down with his opponent, and now we get to see the elbows and knees running down, doing that bit of damage sporadically all over the place here by Eagle MMA.
He's starting now. He's about to human blanket him, Humble. But now, listen to me. Now you were right. I would like to see him go to mount and try to do some more damage, though, Humble.
I want to see him stay in the same place and finish the fight here for another 3 rounds. No, I'm joking, Doctor. He has to advance position, right? Because Donson's won the majority of this round. These rabbit punches don't equate to what you've already been hit with so far. Yes, you might get some. Now that's better. There we go. He's going to try and finish the fight here. Doctor, he gets the deny, and that's what I meant.
And an armbar after that deny did get a bit of the stam draining health. The chip with the armbar there is you posture up and then do the armbar. It stops you getting that stam drain as well. But Pantoja did go for a good attempt, got a bit of a read on, but now he's still got top mount and could easily do some more damage here, Dime.
Yeah, you're right. Now he can rain some shots in from top mount. Now this is Humble. When he start raining shots in from here, this is what you was talking about.
Yeah, this is where you're gonna hurt and damage your opponent. This is where you're gonna do some damage. You can still do damage from half guard, but he's not throwing enough shots to kind of to leave himself vulnerable first of all, so he gets sweeps. And he's just landed 2 shots instead of 3 shots at a time, rather than getting greedy and landing 4 or 5, just because he knows it can happen.
Nice. Oh, he said take it back to the feet where he was having some success.
If I remember correctly, Doctor, Eagle MMA, I believe he lost last week to a really close fight as well. It was a fantastic fight, if I'm correct. And I can't remember who the guy was against, but I'm pretty sure it was one of the fights of the night that we watched as well.
It's entirely possible. Can I remember? No, I cannot. Dime, do you have any clue? Time wasn't here, I've
no,
just remembered. But as I
no,
say
I was
that,
not
going back
here.
to this fight, Marshall, already injured, Eagle trying his damnedest here, but he's having a bit of issues with Dodson. Powell always clipping him just as he's coming in. The leg kick's now starting to come out just a bit by the fan of Dodson. Also a body kick following suit. Both of these guys engaging in a war as the end of the second round closes here. Dime.
Okay, so who are we giving that round to?
The wet blanket guy.
It's a tough fight. Like, I'm
We had
paid to
these
be a
stats. Wet blanket.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
oh yeah,
Maybe,
this is
possibly.
wet. This
He
may be wet
landed
blanket round.
34 strikes for John Dodson, but how do you judge that round? Like a leg kick to, damage on the leg kick doesn't get weighed as heavily as the body shots or the head shots, so it's potentially an open round. But if I'm John Dodson, the third round means the most, Doctor. I'm trying to win the third round, that's all I care about.
Dodson's come out like a man, angry that he's lost the last 2 rounds and he's trying to beat his head off. Overhand's being thrown back and forth now, and Dodson is really looking to step up the pressure here. Seems like he's taken the last 2 rounds off just to explode in this third and final round.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, and if I'm Pantoja, I'm human blanketing him because I'm up 2 rounds. Because John Dodson is dangerous right now on the feet. Like, he's still scaring me, Humble.
Yeah, Eagle MMA is just looking for an opportunity to take his opponent down and then continue what he's been doing so far. Very much the style that we talked about at the start of the fight. He's called Eagle MMA for a reason.
Oh!
Nice work. He's going for the top. He's going for the head.
That was a lovely push into the body kick. Doesn't get any stuns off it. Slips straight down the middle, and Dodson's just coming back here, Jay. You got to imagine, if you're Dodson, you're happy that Pantoja is standing in the middle with you and just blasting shots for you, because it just gives you a bigger and bigger opportunity.
Yeah, I'm scared of John Dodson hands. Even in the third round where he's down 2 rounds, he still looks really dangerous and he's still landing some crazy shots, Humble.
Yeah, I think he has like 98 pace on his punches and stuff, his speed, so he's incredibly fast. And if you remember as well, this guy has gone up the weight division. He knocked out TJ Dillashaw. The only person he should have fought like really was Mighty Mouse Johnson. He hasn't quite done that, but this guy was going to be world champion at one point, or considered to be up there close to getting a shot at the title.
Here we see a takedown attempt, interestingly enough, by Dodson, the man that we've all got down 2 rounds. So you got to imagine he's got to think something here. Maybe a top mount position, maybe the elbows can do some really good damage. But so far, Pantoja now in half guard on bottom, leading profusely, probably going to look for a full guard and then work his way up or get a reversal here, Humble.
Yeah, we're seeing him be active to try and get up, but he gets it denial right now. He's building his grapple advantage, and he's going to go for the sweep. Gets denied. That's huge right there. Gets the pass into half guard, and he's pushing up right there. Gets it denied, and this is where the defensive grappling Pantoja comes into play, J-Dime, as well. Sometimes it's a bad idea to take someone down who's already kind of dominated during the ground, because if they get you reversed and over, you're not getting up.
Yeah, John Dodson's in a tricky spot because every time he postures up, he gets denied. He got denied like 3 times.
A leg kick in a body shot when he was in the pocket with the leg, and that has caused him to get stunned there. Pantoja nearly getting clipped with an overhand. Dodson gassed the body kick there, lead uppercut as well. A straight down to the body, and then they're just peppering shots non-stop here, Humble.
Oh, nice work. Yeah, Eagle MMA starting to tee off on him, and he's looking for all sorts of shots, but there's no seconds left. You got excited. Like, watching that fight there, I forgot about the time. That's how good that fight was to end it. Fantastic performance from Eagle MMA, in my opinion, J-Dime. A very conservative performance. Ensured he won the first couple of rounds, and you can tell he's here in prime time to take it seriously. There's this prime time guarantee, and there's these great fights. There's also great technical fights as well, and that was definitely one of them. We called it the wet blanket, but it was effective.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was effective. That was a beautiful performance. I know I'm joking about the wet blanket, but it was good performance because I wouldn't sit there and box with John Dodson. Are you crazy? John Dodson has 4-star boxing with the 98 punching speed. Do you want to box with him, Humble?
No, I don't want to box him, and that's why he landed 211 strikes out of his 320. Great accuracy from Eagle MMA. The health events went in his favour, and it seemed to be a 30-27 as well, Doctor. Fantastic performance. Shows, like I said, shows that he's here to. He's going to be a tough fight to fight in prime time. He's bouncing back off a loss as well. I'm sure he took a fight on short notice last week. We'll figure out who that was, but great win for Eagle MMA to get back on the winning track, Doc.
Yeah, fantastic job indeed. Always impressive to see people coming out and really putting on a fight for the ages. With that, though, we move on to the Xbox division back over on this side. It's going to be Sambo War versus TMF Hummer. We will be in the middleweight division, and these two are looking like they're going to put on one hell of a fight here tonight.
Well, I can tell you something about Sambo War because he comes from the PlayStation side. You know, he's a fantastic forward pressure striker, and he did so well on the PlayStation side, being top of the division as many times, Jay Dime. But you know, Humor is it Doc or Hummer? Hummer, every single time he comes to fight, and you see absolute wars every single time we see him as well. And TMF, great camp.
Yeah, TMF's a great camp, knowing them through Dime. You've got to imagine that they're going to be cornering him, and he's going to put on one hell of a fight here.
Yeah, Nick Diaz versus Jared Cannonier. That's interesting because Jared Cannonier got God-given power versus the boxing of Nick Diaz, Humble.
Oh yeah, definitely, and it is that volume pressure striking versus that one punch knockout power. You know, if you always go change, he's threw a spanner in the works. We may as well wait till he actually presses the button before we talk about the fighter. Should have it ready, guys, ready to go so we can talk. But here we go. Hopefully, these guys are now switching up, Doc. They're now switching up. What's going on?
I don't know what's going on.
Mind games.
They're messing with the team.
Oh.
Are we aware that he's middleweight, or what's going on here?
I'm not sure. I think one of them's trying to let the other one by flicking through to be like, change it to middleweight. But hopefully, you know, they do change it to middleweight and we can start the fight and get these two going.
Oh yeah, Humble, you gotta, and it's not Sambo War anymore. It's CK Sambo now. Yeah.
Seems these guys have. I mean, I don't mind seeing a Tony Ferguson versus Nick Diaz fight, but
I mean, Tony Ferguson is 4.5 stars, which is the only issue there. Okay, we good? Hey, there we are.
We're back. It's the same fight.
It's the same fight we had before. Very peculiar interaction through that entire section. So, with that, Hummer will be using Cannonier. Sambo War was the guy who was messed about the weights, didn't seem quite certain, but this time around he's using Nick Diaz. Sambo War is 1-0 in his favour. However, that could have been spars, that could have been anything other than a primetime fight. Primetime fight's the way you find out who's the best of the best, and this is the card you're going to be waiting for.
Yeah, he'd be cool. Like we were talking about, we actually did some preview on this already, J Dime. It's volume boxing versus and jiu-jitsu versus that power and the kickboxing of Jared Cannonier.
Man, Jared Cannonier has God-given power. You can see him. He looked like he's carved out of stone. Like, you can just look at him and tell he's powerful, Doctor.
I mean, didn't Cannonier fight up 2 weights above middleweight? So you know the man has had weight behind him and
There's
all that
knockouts
power.
in 3 divisions.
Yeah, that's a definite talent that not many people can handle. And coming out for the leg kick does get denied. Sambo War staying fairly patient, throwing a lot of hooks and rounded shots. He really just wanted to look and beat the head of Cannonier purely by the means of pressure and just general volume here, as you mentioned earlier here, Humble.
Yeah, he just has to be proactive and not stick on the back foot all the time. You know, he gets the back though, and now he's going to jump in the back, gets a bit of damage on the body. That can build up over time, but you've got to also attack that body if you want it to count, Jay Dime. But he gets onto top mountain. He's going to be in trouble right now.
Yeah, and this is smart by Nick Diaz. He took his back early. He can control it on here, do some damage, because Jared Cannonier power means nothing when you on your back, Doctor.
Does mean nothing at all. But the ground and pound shots there do land very nicely, and this is looking like it's going to be Nick Diaz's time. He's defending that hook nicely, but he isn't really doing much else there. The heaven still getting followed by the straights. Does go for a full guard reversal off of the fake half guard, and here we now see him in bottom full guard.
No blocks are getting done in these for transitions, like no transition blocks whatsoever. They're moving freely at the moment. They've got to be careful because here we go. Nice flip, exactly what I said, Jay Dime. I don't know if there's something going on here, but not one single block.
There's no denial.
Not one.
There's no denial, and these are naked transitions.
Oh,
There we go.
we
We got
one
our
of the
first
most
one. Let's go.
difficult denials as well with
Crowd goes
posture up.
wild.
And now we get another denial on the posture up. Hummer really looking for them. Goes to the guillotine. The denials are now starting to come out. Maybe just getting used to their opponents. We do see a transition into half guard. Goes straight into top mount. And now maybe we may see some major damage on the boards. But instead, we're back into half guard here, Humble.
Yeah, interesting question, Doc, as well. You know, Sambo War is now part of CK over on Xbox. I don't know too much about CK, but is that a big camp on the Xbox side that's just emerged, or?
I haven't got a clue. I thought they were a PS camp. Because
Oh my goodness, I was
our
supposed to
PS
know
champion Charles War is CK.
Is it of the? Oh, I know what it is. It's the X War camp that have moved. Yeah, I know. I do know that camp is. It's just absolutely brand new. But yeah, I thought because the Xbox side that he might join an Xbox camp. My bad.
Fair dues. The joys
your
of
bad.
camp swapping. Like, if you're going to stick with a camp, at least have one consistent name. We give credit to both Sambo and Charles for making sure they've had one name. Probably a good idea to stick with that name. I mean, it makes sense in branding issues.
Yeah, I've been KIA for of course. If you move to a different camp and then stick with trials, things like that. It is important though. You do talk about a good point. Even when we go back to the fight, but keeping your name and keeping your brand going, you know, it's a good thing unless you find a gem. But J Dime, these two men are not here to talk about branding. They're here to fight, and they're in the center of the octagon now, throwing down. Who do you think's been winning the fight so far?
I was gonna say Nick Diaz, but Jared Cannonier is still very dangerous right now, Doctor.
It may be dangerous, but Nick Diaz is walking forward, not giving a damn about that power. Even as he's getting clipped, he's blocking quite low. He's waiting for like the leg kicks or maybe even a takedown. A straight low down the middle, a body kick there, ducks under, does come back with lead hook. The lead hook as well now starting to make itself known. That southpaw position, both those leads hands are very much out in the open, so can get a lead hook. That jab more established, he's probably going to have an easier time here to land.
Nice foot. Oh, beautiful
Ooh.
right there. He's starting to flow.
Oh my
He's starting
gosh.
to put them paws onto Gerard Cannonier, and can his defense hold up to the pressure boxing of Nick Diaz? J Dime.
Man, Nick Diaz started flowing, bro. You see how fast his hands was coming out, bro? Like, there's a big speed difference between them, and he's filling it up. Never mind.
This is
I gotta shut up, Jared.
Nick Diaz. This is an impressive performance, although Cannonier is slowly making his comeback. He's staying fairly on that black line, though. He's not really walking behind it, but he is.
Oh, Jesus.
Leg kick again. A hook, though, even with the power reduced, the takedown attempt does get denied and easily split off there. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock here, Jay, and both of these guys are still going at it.
Yeah, and Nick Diaz is doing good, but as you've seen, Jared Cannonier is still dangerous. He stunned him, getting greedy, Humble.
Yeah, 100%. He threw an absolute beast of a combination and said, I ain't no RoboCop. Absolutely knocked his head off clean across the octagon. But at the moment, I'm liking the work what I'm seeing from Notorious. JC is coming forward and trying to take his opponent's head off, and he's landing the volume. Doctor, he's consistently hurt his opponent.
He is consistently hurting his opponent.
Oh my
I
God.
say that. He just gets knocked on the floor, ducks over the arm, hand doesn't land, just out of reach. Leg kick's coming out again. That right leg of Nick Diaz. He's looking fairly sketchy. He may have to change his stance if he's not careful. Engaging there as well. But both of these guys, even after getting knocked down, are happy just to brawl and pray here. It's looking like Hummer's trying to stay a bit more technical, but every time the combos come out.
Nice work. He got him against the fence right now. It's really important. J Dime again against the fence, and he starts to batter him. Oh, this is a tough fight.
I thought it was over. I really did think it was over, bro. I thought he was gonna ground and pound him to death a second ago, Humble. Ooh, nice reverse.
The thing is, if I was in Cannonier's corner at the moment, I was about to say I'd be holding on that towel, you know, just thinking about it, because he's starting to get beat up, Doctor. He's got to avoid that in the first round. He's got to come out with a bang. He did have a good chance. Oh, here we go. Nice work, though.
He does get up at the end, but that doesn't matter when the round has already ended. So, that round, 2 knockdowns in the favour of Sambo War, if I remember correctly. The first round also looking like it's Sambo War. So this final round is Hummer's last chance to win the fight here.
He needs a knockout, doesn't he, Jay? He needs to go out. He needs to go out there and absolutely take his opponent's head off, and hold no respect. No time for bowing. You gotta chase your opponent down and absolutely take his head off, J Dime.
Yeah, I agree. And guess what? Jared Cannonier has the power to kill him. Not the power, man, but oh, never mind. It's over. Okay, this time it's over, Doc.
Is it over? It doesn't seem like it can. His chin is still
Oh my,
staying
how is he
in
alive?
there. Hummer just is an unkillable beast. And now we end up in top mount. Hopefully Sambo was going to try to do it. Does get the half guard now,
nice.
and now this could be what he needs to finally get the finish.
Oh, this is if I've got kids in the room watching this, I'm turning it
Oh.
off right
Oh
now.
my, yeah. His family shouldn't be watching nothing like that. They just watched Jared get beat down.
That was rough. Jared Cannonier, you know, it was a fantastic performance, first of all, and it was a dominant performance. And I think many people in that division are going to be watching this fight and thinking, I don't want to take on that guy. You're going to have to put up with that.
That was a very, very impressive performance done by Sambo Wall, making his name known not only on the PS side like he has done in the past, but this time also on the Xbox side. And so we are now onto the featured prelim on tonight's card. Up next we'll be having Hashin Hands versus L Steel. They will be in the welterweight division. They'll also be on the PlayStation side here, Humble.
Oh, nice. Here we go. Obviously, if you've got hands, J-Dime, you've got to use them, and that's exactly what we're going to see in the next fight we've got going on. These guys, trying to make their way up the ranks in the PlayStation division and being a featured prelim. These matchmakers put these guys in a featured prelim every single time for a reason, and every single time they deliver.
If I'm not mistaken, Hash's Hands may be SVG, Humble. If I'm not mistaken.
And that is Savage Moroccan Lions camp. Is that correct, J-Dime?
Yeah, I don't think I'm wrong about that either. I think I'm right about that one. Like, I'm almost certain he's a part of SVG.
SVG, let's talk about that then, because if he does, he will go calf pick. They all use the same kind of calf picks, but usually have SVG in the name. Anyway, that is a Moroccan Lion sort of.
Hashin Hands is SVG.
Yeah.
I knew I was right. Come on, man. I knew I was right.
Time's on fire.
Yeah, I'm on fire.
It is
What was
interesting to
say,
note, though.
should we talk about the SVG camp? You tell them about the Moroccan Lion and what skill set he brings, and so do a lot of those guys in that camp.
So, the SVG camp is run by Moroccan Lion, who has a distinct style with switch kicks, knees. It's really tough to deal with if you don't know what you're doing. Like, and I've been seeing they've been gathering a group of guys building that camp. So that should be a real powerful camp, a real camp that's going to go into contention with all the top camps, including yours soon, Humble.
Nah, I think that camp should be called the Can Killer, to be honest. If you don't know what you're doing, is the key to that one, J-Dime. But at the end of the day, we'll see how this one goes. As shots are thrown and fired from Humble. Here we go, Doctor. These two meet in the center of the octagon, and Hashin Hands fires 2 shots down the middle, going after him. It still shoots for the legs. Interesting.
Well, you mentioned that camp only uses car picks, but here we see Hashin Hands using Masvidal. Pettis on the back foot. This kind of has been the story all night. One person pressures, the other person on the back foot looking to engage. So far, still is using those leg kicks, staying fairly defensively down. Calf kicks all coming out again, but Masvidal is coming forward as well. Does go to move his head off the center line, gets a head kick there, and both of these guys are having fun flying the attempt there as well.
Nice work, J-Dime. He's got him against that fence, and he keeps backing up, and he's like circling out, circling in. As these two decide to give us a little bit of a pause in the action, they go back to it. But he's doing a really good job of not getting caught with anything big so far. Hashin Hands and keeping his opponent at the end of his shots.
Yeah, and me personally, I have trouble with Anthony Pettis. If someone has good footwork with Anthony Pettis and know how to use his kicks the right way, it could be trouble for anyone, including Masvidal, Humble.
Yeah, and I'll give you a little. I'm a kicker. I use Anthony Pettis. I'll give you a little tip as well. If you're fighting a kicker, if you throw a lot of feints from kicking distance, it's really hard to gauge when to not kick. And when you do kick, you leave yourself massively vulnerable. So if you can get your opponent kind of kicking out of character and kicking the feints, that's when you can really do well in kind of drawing certain attacks out of them and catching them.
Yep. That's great advice.
It's also making sure that if they are kicking, gotta be in boxing range, because then they're going to have no chance to get the kicks up, and it also leaves very big counter windows. It's how a lot of kickers get countered, as we saw in the last couple of fights. Is whenever someone threw a kick, you just end up met with a rear hook over the top, and that can just be out. That was a fantastic job there by Masvidal, and he's having a great showing here.
Here we go. Here we go now.
The wrong person.
Now, now it is time. I expect him to utilize them switch kicks, as a lot of people from his camp does. Humble, you know what I'm saying?
That was Hanish or Heavy Hands or Hash Hands as well though. So he wasn't even the guy from the SVG. I heard, down by the rumor, that if you pick a real character, you get kicked from SVG.
Hey, you're just making jokes now. That don't happen. Ashes can do what he
You're
wants.
meant to
He
be
can do
not.
what he
You're meant
wants.
to be non-biased here, Humble, and yet you seem to be the most biased on commentary so far.
No, I love that.
Do we get a KIA versus SVG war soon, Humble?
No,
Well, it seems like SVG's about to get a wall.
Doesn't
He
matter.
did do a very odd move there where he lunged back and then went to throw a hook. You got to imagine it may have been a mispress of the buttons. Looks like Anthony Pettis is gassed to high hell and back again, going for the full guard and then going for the half guard reversal. 30 seconds left on the clock with Pettis trying his damnedest, but he's gassed out, going for another get up, and now Hash in hands looking to put on a domineering ground and pound to finish this round off.
Nice work. He's inside control right now. Gets back to his half guard right there, and he's gonna have to try and he's really gonna have to change it up. Jay Dime, he was second best in most of that fire rate there, and I take the mick, but they are a fantastic camp. They do have some really good players in their camp, and they'll be in his ear at the moment, giving him advice, trying to get him through to the next round, giving him a little bit of advice to switch it up, because at the moment it's tough to go on the feet with him, and he's also getting dominated on the ground slightly.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. He's looking really good right now, but he can't let that get carried away, because one moment, one stun can change the fight, and it could go the other way, Doctor.
It could easily go the other way, and that is always the thing whenever you keep it on the feet. So maybe it's a good idea to do a takedown, mess it up, especially with Pettis like BJJ. But so far, Hashing Hands using that just to get the distance there, and now both of these are going straight back at it, engaging, just hoping to find that one shot here.
I'm really liking the way Hash Hands is entering the pocket. He's constantly doing it different ways. Sometimes he's slow rolling his way in. Other times he's using a kick to set up his punches. And then other times he's kind of waiting for his opponent to strike and then kind of putting the pressure on. Or false pressure, essentially, J-Dime, where you don't throw anything, you follow your opponent. Beautiful work.
Oh,
Yeah, he's looking dominant right now, and I don't like how Anthony Pettis has been getting pushed to that cage constantly, Humble.
well, Pettis attempts to take down. Hoping to land another shot here. Sorry, Humble, to cut you off twice there in the quick sort of seconds. Backside taking it. It's looking like Pettis is hoping for the takedowns, but it seems like his grappling isn't up to the par of Hashing Hands here.
Yeah, don't worry, Doc. It's first come, first serve. You went first. End of the day. But nice work right now, and he's pushing it up. He's going to try and land some ground and pound on his opponent. He does a good job to do so. Hashland's really gone for the I looked at the wrong. Yeah, I got excited there. I looked at the wrong stamina bars.
Yeah, you're looking at the wrong stamina bar, Humble. Come on, get on your game, man. You're tripping.
Look at this. Nice work. He didn't really even get close to that though, J-Dime.
Yeah, but like Anthony Pettis' stamina is concerning me. He has blinked a few times since last round.
Running with something completely out of range. Spinning heel kick in retaliation. A leg kick of all things. Maybe not the best of counters. Still may have to go back to the basics here. Go back to the practice room and just remember how to counter what shots work when. Going with the lead hook, the jabs, and Hashing Hands is just putting pressure, looking for the openings. He isn't really pushing the pace anymore since he knows that it's looking like this fight's going more and more in his favour here, Joe.
Man, he's doing whatever he wants right now. Like, he just looked at him. He just looked at him when he threw that kick. Like, he's doing whatever he wants right now, Humble.
Oh, nice work. Yeah, he is. And you can just... One thing he's got to be careful of, though, and he did it once already, was don't get brought into your opponent's level. So at the moment, he's throwing a kick out of character to try and finish the fight, a flashy kick. If the guy gets ducked and you get dropped off that or knocked out, you're leaving yourself vulnerable, maximum vulnerability. Often, people throw kicks back when you throw something flashy. They throw something flashy, so you've got to be careful not to do that.
Yep, if you throw a cartwheel kick against me, I'm going to throw one right back at you if I have the opportunity. Pettis did gas out there, and he's gassing out again. 20 seconds left on this clock, and I feel like Hashing Hands, all he needs to do now is put the pressure on, and that's what you want to be doing, because going back to the rank points, the quicker the finish, Humble, the more points you get.
Yeah, definitely. Even J-Dime, like those points, the early points in KOs in the first round, they push people up them divisions so fast. It's the reason we have it in place. You reward people for quicker finishes, you reward people for dominance, and you reward people for they're not paid by the hour, J-Dime, they're paid by the fight.
Facts, but right now, Hash's hands can do no wrong. He's doing whatever he want to Anthony Pettis. I feel like he could have finished it a long time ago, but he's just torturing him and keep, you know what I'm saying? Just keep beating him up, Doctor.
Man's torturing.
Oh, digs down to the top and goes
This
up
isn't
there
torture?
as well.
It is.
So this-
He's definitely looking like torture. If I'm man's
Oh.
down, I'm just putting Pettis out of his
Oh,
misery.
no!
And a random
Ooh.
body hook finishes
nasty.
off Anthony Pettis.
Mate, that was rough. You know, he did everything he did. What a performance, by the way, Jay Dime. He fought well as well through the entire fight. He absolutely calculated and measured every single step of that fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my eye on him because he looked good in that fight. Like that was a dominant performance, guys.
Featured prelim as well. You know, it delivers every single time. Like it wasn't an absolute war, but what it was is a performance, a showcase for Hash and Hands.
beatdown.
He made sure. One of the times when these guys when you have the thing about having what's it called, the fight of the nights, the sort of crazy wars, is 2 years of getting credit for that. He made sure he was receiving every single ounce of credit in that fight, Doctor.
Yeah, he really did. He put a very dominant fight on. He played very well, and that was a very impressive win. But now we move on to our main card of this evening. First up will be in the Xbox division at welterweight with Mr. EK Keza versus Vex Hookery.
Hookery, these two every single time. Keza, fantastic fights. Hookery, fantastic fights. Let's put them together in a little ball and mix it around your dime. And what are we going to get? Another fantastic banger of a fight. I cannot wait for this one.
No fight has disappointed. In my opinion, what fight has disappointed so far? So this should be another great fight coming up.
No, there's been no bad fight tonight. It's been all fantastic. Even the most technical fight where we discussed the wet blanket was a dominant performance on one end, and it was fantastically strategically played out with a knockout at the end of it. So Eagle MMA showcasing that the Khabib and those sort of Dagestanis, and now we're going to get a welterweight fight. It looks like the weight classes have moved up now, Jay Dime, as well. We've took off the restrictions. These guys can choose anybody on the board. It looks like we're going to get legend in George St. Pierre versus Leon Edwards with fantastic.
Leon.
Yeah, you can talk about Leon and Georgie, Jay Dime. What do you think these two need to do to win this fight?
I think Leon Edwards needs to kickbox from the outside. Keep the teeps on him. Just fight at your pace. Don't let him rush you. Like do your thing, because when Leon's kickboxing well, it's hard for anybody to beat him. And George St. Pierre, Doc gonna have to tell you what he got to do.
Big time, Doctor. And Doctor, the touch gloves in the center of the octagon right now. And he talked about Leon Edwards, but St. Pierre, what's he got to do to win the fight? You're the wrestling expert in this.
Well, if you're GSP here, I was fighting this matchup earlier against the mighty Brody, who's fighting early on. If you're GSP, you want to stay on that back line, wait
nice.
for your opponent to really open up, and then shoot a takedown. GSP was known for mixing in both the striking and the wrestling. Leon Edwards is a striking specialist, so finding your best way to take your opponent down, probably a double leg if I'm being honest. Sometimes a single can also work. Got the clinch as well, and those side kicks just to create that distance work beautifully to really let your opponent walk into your shots here.
Nice, Leon. Keep stepping out the pocket, Leon. That's what Leon need to do. Get yours and step out the pocket. Don't take nothing back, humble.
Yeah, that's definitely what you need to do. And God, stop those kicks from coming. The kicks are getting set up really nicely with the punching. But I'm liking those. You don't see people doing them side kicks. Them side kicks are really nasty, and they're landing right on the hip as the hip is pushed right forward in that stance, and really stopping the opponent from kind of coming forward and throwing one of their own strikes. So it's not only just landing a strike, it's also making your opponent not throw their three. So it's giving you an opportunity to kind of land a combination, land those kicks, and get out of that pocket, Doctor.
He really is having a lot of success here, just engaging. The sidekicks are also working in favour of GSP, but so far Edwards is more composed. He's more loose on the boxing. You can tell just even by his stance here, and he's just using that footwork, waiting for GSP to enter, and then just countering at the right moments here, Dime.
Yeah, but GSP is having success with these kicks. Them push kicks, he need to sidestep one of them or circle to his rear side because they're landing at a will, humble.
Yeah, they are. And I'm really liking GSP's footwork so far. He's just kind of controlled the fight with his length. He has long strikes, like long jab. That's one of the things about GSP that people don't realize. The length of his jab and the distance he covered, because the way he springed into it, it really helped him out in his career. And he's got it in the game as well. You can really feel like you can get some length with him.
Ace.
But so far, the jab, the strikes have all come to fruition for both of them. Now a knee to the body as well. The side kicks also have seemed to have done a lot of the body damage in the favour of GSP. But as we come out to this closing minute, both of them are hanging around the kicking range, coming into the boxing range when they can. But neither one really committing to any big shots here. And we haven't actually seen many takedown shots out of GSP so far here, Humble.
Oh, we haven't seen many shots from either guy. You know, one of my biggest problems with people on this game, J-Time, is they don't utilize the clinch enough. The clinch when you're getting pressed back against the fence is absolutely vital, and the clinch going forward sometimes. Oh, nice work! He's landed a nice boxing combination off the top. Goes for the head kick. Oh, and he leaves himself vulnerable. But I was just getting on the point there. The clinch for Leon Edwards. He's got 5-star elbows. You have to use that tool.
People not using all of their tools sometimes because people get stuck playing a certain way. The clinch is there for the taking, especially if you have somebody like Leon Edwards, Doctor.
Yeah, indeed, and Edwards should be using that clinch, but so should GSP. He's a wrestler through and through. And as we saw by that round, just to bring a mention back to the stats, Leon Edwards only landed 25 strikes out of the 75 or 3. That's one quarter, but 25 strikes just in a single round landed isn't a lot, to be honest. And I think Edwards needs to probably start increasing his pace here just so he stays on the same level as GSP here, Humble.
Yeah, but J-Dime will tell you how many fights does it take to win a fight, how many shots does it take to win a fight. J-Dime takes one, every single time. If he's landed 25, one of those needs to sneak through. At the same time, he needs to tighten up his defense at the moment. He's getting caught with way too much. He needs to get some reads out there.
Yeah, he's getting, oh my gosh, the striking's 56-31, but didn't Leon win that round because of that stun?
I'm not sure.
It was to about mid-20s, so he went strikes to about 16, so that stun may have pushed him, but it's a bit of a difficult one to tell. But so far, Edwards is happily engaged in boxing, clipping him a couple of times, but so is Kezi. He's coming back here, looking to work the body and top here, and this is a great fight to start the main card of this evening.
There we go. Now he's starting to use the jabs. He's starting to use the straights. He's coming off the centre line and making his opponent dead on the canvas. What a KO from Leon Edwards. Amazing.
Oh my God.
0 to 100 in less than a second. GSP looking like he's winning the fight, comes back and gets knocked out, ducks into the uppercut, knocking him unconscious. Congratulations to Hookery for making that nice swift read there, Dime.
I'm not gonna lie to you. We was complaining about Leon, he gotta pick it up, but he knocked GSP the fuck out, guys. Like, he just upped him to death. Like, he killed him. That's the second death we had today.
Second death indeed. That was a hell of a fight, a hell of a performance, in fact. But with that, we move on to our next fight of this evening. It won't be Gay Jackson versus Pup. Those two ends up stuck up the mighty tree, or ends up being a bit couldn't cut weight in time due to the tiramisu. So instead, we're going to go straight into no longer SMB Brady, but instead ICB Brady versus BFAP Jakey.
What do we know about them? Y'all gotta tell me, what do y'all know about both of these fighters?
Well, Brady is a notoriously good striker. He's lacks a bit in the wrestling department, but he did beat Dirty Dave. On the other hand,
I was there too. I remember that. That was a great upset. That was a great performance.
Yeah, it was a fantastic performance indeed. It was a really big upset. But JK, on the other hand, he's a wrestler turned striker. He's managed to outstrike the likes of Killer Jake, and everyone knows how good a McGregor Killer Jake has on this game here, Dime.
Yeah. And for real, Brady, like, I was very impressed with that performance when it was him versus Dirty Dave. It was Volk versus Aldo. So, like, from there to now, I'm expecting big things from him right now. And we know Jakey B is an animal. We know he's a dog like that. He's official.
Yeah, he's official. He's legit. He's a former champion, for God's sake. He just lost. He just beat Optics. He lost his belt to... Hang on. Didn't he fight yesterday? Sorry, opponent. Yes.
I gotta tell me, because I'm Stevie Wonder to this.
Sorry,
I gotta tell me.
I'm having a really slow day today. So, just for context, Jakey lost his belt yesterday, and he's back at it again.
Huh? Wait. No.
He got knocked out in the 5th round, about a minute left in the fight, if I remember correctly, and he's now coming out, and he's... That's a quick turnaround.
I think you got it wrong.
Have
I'm
I?
certain you got it wrong. Because Optics was the champion.
Yeah, and Jakey beat him
Yeah, Jakey.
Yeah.
last week.
So, yeah.
You weren't here. You weren't here. That's why.
No, I told you I was Stevie Wonder yesterday.
Oh, so Jakey B was the champ.
Jakey B was the champ. He fought yesterday defending his belt. He failed to defend it. Dave took over, so now Dirty Dave is the X-World champion. Just a quick rundown of the PS champ whilst the current fight gets on. And so far, Brady looking to put on performance of his life, getting a head kick, nearly kicked. Interesting thing to note is Brady only fights in Southpaw.
I like him even better now.
Yeah, like I used to play every single fight in Southpaw. I didn't care about the switch stance because if you know how to fight in Southpaw, you can lead your opponent a lot easier with that lead leg. You can utilize the lead hook a lot more, so you stop them circling one direction. And the other thing is that your kicks out from the power side now. So if you use your footwork correctly, that power kick becomes a vital weapon.
It's interesting to note, he also suffers from fighting against his Southpaw, from my experience. Just let loose on someone as far as I did find he has a tendency to have a lot of difficulty when he's fighting someone who is in the same stance as him, so maybe that's something Jakey wants to use. So far, though, does seem like Brady's having a more uphill battle. He's putting the pace on, but so far Aldo is content, he's calm, and he's just winging shots at his head, and he's landing pretty cleanly here, Jay.
Yeah, but Dillashaw head health is starting to get low. It's starting to get low, Humble.
Yeah, he's getting touched, he's getting pieced, and Jakey B is wanting to put himself right back in that title picture. Head kick right there, and he's just chipping away, death by 1,000 cuts, going through the block as well, and really just trying to utilize the fantastic Muay Thai and boxing of Jose Aldo, Doc.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's having a fantastic job there. That helps done the block low. He's still engaging whilst it was done. Now on the back foot instead, Jakey's starting to slowly amp up the pressure. Just realised this fight is also on 5 rounds.
Oh, we might not need it as these two starting to kill each other. I can almost guarantee this wasn't going to go 5 rounds. I'm going to say it as well, Jay. That's how confident I am. You say stuff usually and it goes wrong. This one, it's going to definitely finish within those 3 rounds.
Okay, so I'm gonna hold you to your word right now.
It's happening.
But I agree with you though. That's the crazy thing. I agree with you, but I'm still gonna hold you to. Yeah, it's not good.
Whoa, nearly. That's a fantastic read on the head movement coming back there by Brady. It's shown that even when Brady's hurt, they can come back in the fight. Both of these guys are engaging like absolute manmen, and I definitely don't think this goes out to the 2nd round here, Humble.
He uppercutted him and loads of blood just flew off his face onto the canvas like he just got stabbed. That was absolutely insane. He goes again. Oh, you see the blood flying out his face. He catches him back.
Double drop there as well. And now looking to put the ground pound on. And he gets the finish.
Oh my crap.
The gatekeeper, Jakey, showing why he's a gatekeeper.
Dang. Dang, why you gotta call it?
Damn.
To be fair, he's won the belt, but he didn't get a defense.
Doc just did it dirty.
He proved why he's the gatekeeper. What?
Jesus. Nah, we're joking. But that was a fantastic, absolutely fantastic finish by Jakey B. And, a great fight overall. Those two were trying to kill each other.
Those dudes really were, both of them putting on the pace massively so. Looking like we get the replay there, the uppercut, the straight, a double knockdown if I'm not mistaken, and then he jumps on his opponent looking to get that finish.
Nice work to start off. The first fight on our main card this evening. Second fight on our card this evening. We've had some fantastic fights so far, and we're going to have some fantastic fights coming up. If you want to join Prime Time, make sure you hit that link in the chat. But before we do, Doc, we're going to get into our next fight, which I believe is going to be Gemini versus Ripe, unless we've had some late replacements.
I believe Gemini's actually ended up pulling out, and he's got stuck up the mighty tree of destiny.
Oh, no.
And so instead, this time around, it will be TM Storm.
Okay. Who just beat me?
Yeah, I think so. These two are going to be good.
And he's going to be fighting Ripe.
Yeah, Ripe is his opponent.
Yeah, he's tough, man. I thought he was going to try and grapple me a lot in our fight, Jade Diamond. He didn't. He came out. He actually outstruck me, and that was really surprising because I was expecting sort of a grappling defense heavy game from me, and it wasn't that at all. I had to deal with really good pressure boxing, really good pressure kickboxing, and good counter striking as well.
Sometimes you gotta fool your opponent. You thought he'd grapple you.
Oh yeah,
but he struck with you.
He did indeed, and he looked better. Like he looked like he'd learned a lot in that space of time than I previously fought him like a couple of seasons ago. And he just looked like he'd developed and learned a style as long. So we know he's got grappling. Now we know he's got striking as well. So it's going to be a tough fight for Ripe. But Ripe comes back like stronger than ever every single time he loses. I'm sure last week he got a massive win over a big opponent as well. And he presses every single time with great performances.
A fantastic performance indeed by Ripe. A few technical issues on the back end, so we're just hoping these two get into each other. But let's see if I remember correctly, Ripe did fight Weepsy in the featherweight division last week. Humble.
Nice work, yeah. And credit to Doctor. Get a big round of applause to Doctor because he's running the events and he's doing like the wrangling in the back, making sure these guys are getting ready. We do have other people working, but Doctor's one of the main men who behind this. He usually does it on a Saturday and stepping in on big short notice night to kind of step up and give us an event and what we need essentially, J-Time. So massive credit to Doctor for prime time because he's a fantastic person in this community. He gives you guys all of his heart, I promise you that.
Yeah, I mumble and grumble all the way through, but I still enjoy myself, and this is what we aim to put on. Anyhow, thank you Ripe for going live. Now we're in the featherweight division. All stars are around. A bunch of submissions are banned. Let's not get into that. Let's watch this fight straight ahead. By looks, we're going to have a Volkanovski versus the Max Holloway, if I saw that correctly. I think I did, hopefully. No, it's to the Gator. Well, it's an even better fight.
Ruined the main event of the fucking fight night in the card while we're doing it, Doctor. We can't watch it. Thank you, Yeekiss. That's a ban worthy. No, I'm joking, but
dang, why you gotta ban him for?
Damn, I couldn't wait to watch that fight. Now I know the ending. I'm so angry. Here we go. Kata versus Volkanovski. Stomp versus Ripe. Yeekiss.
I don't know the result of the fight yet, so I'm happy and content. However, we are instead going to watch this featherweight fight instead. Holloway already starting out, not Holloway, but I mean Volkanovski. Although Cameron Cater does look a bit like Holloway, I'm now starting to see.
You look like Holloway to you? Is that what you say?
A bit.
Yeah, what?
I don't know why. I think it's just the head and the body.
You talking about Levine? You're talking about the cameraman. Who are you talking about?
Oh god. Well, either way, Cater's currently beating the living hell out of Volkanovski. Storm on the back foot, hoping to really find his footing again. But looks like Cater so far is a bit more confident in the overall boxing, even jabbing to the body. An interestingly useless strike, but also confuses your opponent a bit here.
It's crazy how Volkanovski looks nothing like Volkanovski anymore. It actually is crazy now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's a lot of now. He's got a lot of body, and he's bald. It's so weird. It's different. Like, looking at him now, I always get strange that, like, weirded out by playing with him. Cater looks perfect, but great performance recently from Cater as well. But Volkanovski, I'm sure he's got 99 moving J-Time, something like that.
91 footwork. It's absolutely insane.
Oh, yeah, listen to me. Oh, yeah, y'all forgot. He has a 99 footwork now. Volk has literally, he's tied with Izzy for the highest footwork in this game now after a recent update.
Yeah,
that is an insane achievement.
Both guys from the same camp as well.
Yeah, both city kickboxing guys.
Fair enough, but Vulcan also got a bit more than kickboxing. He's also got the grappling that he's happy to engage, as you saw by it, and just a general strength when we saw him fight Holloway. But speaking of strength, though, that body is going to have to hold up to the torture that Calvin Cater is wanting to put on tonight.
Whoa! Oh my gosh, he's showing why he's a champ. Look at Volk. It looked like he was getting beat up a second ago. Oh my gosh.
And he doesn't usually get tired. He's got a fantastic gas tank. And I was about to say he's put his combinations together well, but he's got to be careful because Ripe started going to the body and digging with those boxing combinations, and the stamina started to drain slowly from Storm. And I was thinking that might have been the game plan from Cater. You've got to strike that body. You've got to have long, uppercuts to the body, long hooks, and sneak them behind your headshots. And that's exactly what he started doing. Got the turn on the ground after getting dropped, J Dime, and now he's in a good position.
Yeah, but I'm impressed because Volk was getting punched for a while, and Volk turned that around and dropped Calvin Kattar. He showed why he is the featherweight champion of the world.
Time-wise, featherweight champion of the world, but currently he's on bottom, looking for the fakes, building cover with that bit of GA, but now Calvin Kattar gets that posture up, ding down to the body, comes up top as well. 15 seconds left. I've got to imagine it's just going to be just a case of reducing damage, letting this round play out, and then restarting in the second round. He had a lot of success on the feet that time around, Kattar. So did Calvin Kattar. So it's going to be probably the case of this body work style from Calvin Kattar to really work that gas tank, and just the overall mental plicity of Volkanovski. Very interesting stat there. Stat J as well. Was 71 shots out of 113 landed by Volkanovski.
Quite efficient. That usually,
Bro was not missing. Every punch he threw damn near hit him, Humble.
But the shots from Ripe MMA have actually drained his stamina slightly as well. You know how good Volk's gas tank is, and it's slightly lower than Calvin Kattar's at the moment. So you know that something's kind of sneaking through and catching him in mid combination, or it's something permanent. J Dime, as you know, the tapes, things like that. So he's got to be careful at Storm, because if he gets like hurt once, he could end up losing half his stamina and not being able to finish the fight essentially.
Under the head kick, just at a distance, so elbow coming out, possibly a 5-star if I remember correctly, but now both of these guys just engaging willy-nilly. Calvin Kattar is trying to pin him against the cage, but the footwork of Volkanovski is making life difficult here, Dime.
Yeah, it is. And I'm telling you, this the difference between Volk and Calvin Kattar right now is the experience as a champion. Volk's been at the top of the food chain as the champ, so I think that's what's giving him advantage right now, Humble.
No denial though on the transition, and Ripe MMA is now on top of him, and he ended up on top in the last fight. Gets a denial right now, and Storm is going to pay for that as Ripe MMA moves to half guard. He's a good grappler in his own right, but you question the ability of Calvin Kattar, even if he's got a good, sort of grappling player controlling him. He's against another good grappler in Storm who's just flipped him over and showed why Volkanovski is the champion, Doctor.
Yeah, Volkanovski is the champion now, going for an arm triangle. Not really on the stand, probably getting a bit of a read of his opponent, keeping busy just for a bit. 2 minutes left on the clock, and so far, Ripe is on bottom, now ending up in bottom side control. Dangerous place B does open the top mount as red as Crucifix, but instead, though, we end up in Sprawl. This place is very evident to get ups, but as you can see, can also work the body quite heavily here, Jay.
Yeah. He can get them shots in, because when people give up that sprawl, I'm okay taking those shots. Like, I'm okay hitting him to the body right there. That's a free opportunity, Doc.
That's a very free opportunity, but as you can see, he now gets Crucifix in retaliation to Volk, trying to grapple, and he also gets a knife. This suddenly got a lot more dangerous very quickly, but Volkanovski managing just to escape at the right moment here, Humble.
You can see blood prints on his back where he's putting his hand, because he's taking a lot of shots to the head, and he's pissing blood everywhere, Doctor. And he's got to be careful, because he's going to be pissing a bit more blood if he gets it with some of them crucifixes. Calvin Kattar is on the ground, but he's using the experience, he's using vulnerable situations on the ground and really teeing off on Storm.
Oh, lovely defense of the hook that may have just kept Volkanovski's chin from being really utterly destroyed here. But so far, Kattar also showing why he can grapple, managing to get the reversal off of the ground, doing that bit of damage in Crucifix. Also gaining the top mount, and now just chilling out for the rest of the round in half guard, postured up.
Oh. Big strikes there, J Dime, at end of the round as well. Calvin Kattar looks good on the ground. I never thought I'd say that in my life.
Yeah, Calvin Kattar has been in the lab. I'm telling you, after Max beat his ass, he went in the lab and said, I'm going to become a better mixed martial artist. No one is going to stop me. And you can tell right here, because his grappling looks like it has improved tremendously, Doc.
It really does look like it's improved tremendously here. Being competitive against someone like Volkanovski's caliber is very nice. Nearly clipping him with the rear hook as he goes to the body kick. Front kick also matters there, and Storm's got to remember that he's got to really make big adjustments this round, since he did lose that one quite significantly.
I haven't won a piece. I don't know about you, J Dan, but I haven't won a piece at the moment. This third round means the most for both of these competitors, and who wants it the most. This is the round where you find out who's got true grit, true experience, and who's good at making those adjustments when needed.
Yeah, it looked like Volk won it, though. It looked like Volk won it.
Volk is hoping to find one opportunity here. Body kick there, straight there, comes out as well. Spinning back fist as well. Straight follows suit. Lead hook also follows. These two are engaging in a war and a half. Neither of them really committing to a major shot here, but so far both looking fantastic.
It's jab to the body. I'm really liking the teeps, the jabs to the body from K. It's going to slow his opponent down. When your opponent can throw 4 or 5 strikes in a combination, it's really hard to start to predict that and kind of come forward and throw your own. And when you start jabbing and taking permanent damage away from them as they're doing that, it's going to limit the amount of punches they're able to throw or able to kind of get out there before gassing. So it gives you less of a thing to think about, Jay Dime. You don't think about 5 shots, you think about 4, then you think about 3, and then 2 and 1.
Yeah, but right now I have my hands together. I'm trying to see who really won it. Does Calvin Kattar want to take that belt from Volk? I really want to see this, Doc.
Oh, uppercut there. Volkanovski, though, doesn't want to keep that belt on his hands. Now digging it down, just for clarification, this isn't for the PS belt, but Storm gets to win.
Storm's been impressed. I mean, like I said, but you've got to be impressed when someone beats your ass, So he's done it to somebody else, though, after that. And it was a tough second round. I don't know about you, Jay Dime, but I was starting to worry about the ground game. The Calvin Kattar was really starting to do some damage on the ground, have some effective grappling as well. And Storm turned it around that third round and put it on him.
Yeah, 100%. And Volk showed why he's a true champion. I said that third round came down to who wanted more, and Volk showed why he's the featherweight champion.
Indeed, he did. But now we're entering our co-main event of this evening. The ever mighty primetime GOAT on the Xbox division is BFAP Trixie versus the late replacement king of KM Caliber. These two will be in the middleweight division, one of the few fights that Trixie has, which will be 3 rounds.
That's interesting. It's a good point, actually. I didn't even think of that until you said it right there. It does. You're sort of laying out of a fight, Jay Dan. When you're fighting at 5 rounds, it's really important. No, you're fighting at 5 rounds. You often plan your fight differently because the 4th and 5th round you've got to have a gas tank. Whereas a 3-round fight, you can kind of let it go a bit more, and you've only got to win 2 rounds out of 3, and that comes really quickly in a fight if you start taking over the first round.
Yeah, it's like a different mindset when you go from fighting 5 rounds to 3 rounds. Like you said, in a 3-round fight, you can kind of unload because it's only 3 rounds. In a 5-round fight, sometimes you got to pace yourself because say you don't get him out of there, it's a long fight. So it's 2 different mindsets, Doctor.
Yeah, it's 2 complete different mindsets when it comes to rounds, but sometimes it's just a slight adjustment depending on your play style. But by the looks of it, we're going to have a Lyoto Machida versus Robert Whittaker. Lyoto, a fighter who's recently got updated in one of the most recent fire updates, having his stats updated across the board here.
Yeah, it's good for Lyoto Machida, but I am worried about that pick, Jay Dime. You're fighting the best player on the Xbox, the most consistent Xbox player in history, in my opinion, winning the ESFL belt, winning primetime belt, doing really well in primetime. That just proves that point. And it's somebody that's a fantastic player, and he's picked Robert Whittaker. Surely you give yourself a disadvantage by going with Lyoto Machida.
Not even worried about the fact that Trixie is that good, because he is great. But you know what I'm worried about? You're going against the best player in that division on this game. Robert Whittaker is the meta, Humble.
He is. Sometimes I play against good players with certain characters, and I know that I'm going to be able to get my kicking off, and I know that they're going to struggle with some of the cheesy moves as well. So I'm wondering, Caliber.
The uppercut, though, has been playing massive amounts of damage recently. Going for the body kick, body needs as well, does get himself out of there. He challenges with a leg kick as well. That's a very early drop for Trixie. He normally takes about a round to really explode, but again, that early on, we may be looking at a very quick finish here by Trixie tonight.
Go for that leg, Jay Diamond. He's really chopping that leg. I like how Caliber didn't let that rock or drop deter him from sticking to the game plan of chopping the legs and really sticking it to Trixie and making Trixie think essentially how he's going to enter the pocket. The only evidence we've had so far of Trixie kind of throwing is that knockdown and the really good forward boxing. So what would you like to see from Trixie going forward? More pressure boxing and more combinations, or do you like the style that he's going with right now?
I'd like to see more combinations from Trixie, but I respect this Lyoto Machida pick so much, bro. I don't think y'all understand. That takes balls to do that.
Lyoto Machida was one of my favorite fighters for a long time. He's fantastic. The Dragon was incredible. He's got great kicks. We all know he's trained with Anderson Silva at the time. Anderson Silva was the GOAT as well, and really a key sparring partner for him. So Lyoto Machida knocking out Randy Couture with a front kick to the face, it could happen tonight, and that's why Trixie's got to keep his guard up, Doctor, because that could happen. You lights out and you wake up.
And it really has to be careful because Lyoto's such a good fighter that one wrong move and you may be on the floor. That left leg is badly hurt, and it's looking like Lyoto is just going to keep digging down to it, forcing Trixie to switch stances. But he's adapted, he knows what to do, and you're just waiting for that one adjustment from Whittaker to start putting the pace on. But Caliber could always come back and come out with something wild, as you see there. Playing a dangerous game, getting knocked down in retaliation at the very end of the round.
Lyoto Machida. Oh, boy, he's looking real good right now.
Oh, he's really giving him trouble, Jay Diamond. The boxing combinations there, he switched up Caliber and really put the pressure on the boxing combinations, put them together in that pocket, and Trixie really struggled with it.
It's an adjustment, and I told you maybe that him going from fighting 5 rounds to 3 rounds, maybe giving him a little trouble too. It started a little faster too.
I need to say it though. Trixie is one of those fighters that it does not matter what you did in round 1. It just doesn't. If you think that you've been beating Trixie in round 1 and you come out with in round 2 thinking that's going to work and be the exact same thing as you just did, he has put so many people to sleep. 2nd, 3rd, 4th round, Doctor. You've got to be wary of him. Your defense has got to be up. You've got to be careful what you're throwing against him because he downloads information so fast.
Yeah, and tricks and making sure that you download information on both your opponent and yourself, making sure what you're showing is always crucial, because then you know what type of adjustments your opponent's going to make.
Oh my God!
Caliber is just coming out, getting a stone, getting a rock there, now digging down to that body as well, and he's seeming like he's got a read on Trixie. You got to imagine these two have sparred a bunch as well, and that's given some fruition to this league fight, but both of them content with working each other, now also knee into the leg there, Jack.
Yeah, Lyoto Machida looks amazing. It looks like he's in his prime right now, and Robert Whittaker head health is starting to get lower, humble.
Yeah, just the IQ moment from Collins has been fantastic. Even against nice work, he might get him here, he might hurt him. I was about to say, he had him against the fence and he's been hitting that leg, and he gets him against the fence and he gets my position. Jay Diamond lands the permanent leg damage from the backside, which is just adding to that leg damage. He hurts him, rocks him back, going to chase him. Lyoto Machida's trying to get the win, and Caliber's got Trixie on the ropes, Jay Diamond.
Man, Lyoto Machida is, oh my gosh, he may put Robert Whittaker. Hey, this is over, guys.
He's looking like Trixie's only just surviving. He's trying to stand it.
How is he still alive? He's still alive.
What in the world?
What heart by Trixie.
He can't win this fight. There's no way. If he wins this fight, this might be the
I mean,
greatest
that's a Trixie way to do it. Do you not remember, like, the first Optics fight? Optics could not get a finish, and Trixie's comebacks and was so hurt so badly, and he just comes back and gets the finish. Trixie's been in this position before. That's why he's the GOAT at prime time. But Caliber's a tricky sod to have this against, wasting out on the grappling gains, and now they split apart. That head held is blinking non-stop here, Jay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. If he makes this comeback, I don't know what to call him if he makes the comeback. Like, there got to be something past GOAT. But, like, right now, it looks like it's over. It is over.
It's looking like it's going to be over.
This is over. This is over.
What is this?
Oh, my God.
Sanity. This is absolutely insane. Now into half guard, probably going to be looking for a top man position. Maybe in the half guard posture up is what you need, but both of them wasting time here, and that's 2 knockdowns, 2 very close finishes in the favour of Caliber. If you're Caliber, you're riding this high, you got the confidence, and the stream has decided it's too much action.
Yeah, well, nice work from Caliber. He gets back in a mount right now. He's going to try and do some damage with Lyoto on top, and he doesn't need much. That's the key right now. It doesn't matter if it's Lyoto Machida or it's Khabib. He doesn't need much with the fighter from top, he can just chip away at the head health, and he does so. And this could be it. This could be it for Trixie. He gets
the reversal. Now going top man, ground and pound himself, coming back, hoping to the damn, but he takes every shot. He takes the block of Lachida out, but that head health is still high, it's still on, and with 20 seconds left, this is looking more and more like this will go into the third and final round here, Humble.
You can see the survival skills this man. It's absolutely insane. It's so crazy how good he is at surviving. He like reads his opponent as soon as he goes to the ground like buck. And then the problem we were talking about earlier on is that this is a 3-round fight, and Trixie sometimes needs 4 or 5 to come back. So J Diamond, he's got a round to do it. If you're Calibre, do you take your foot off the gas?
No, you can't let up, bro. You cannot do that. And I'm still trying to figure out how Trixie's surviving. Like, he's on his last legs. I don't know how he's not dead.
The power of Primetime going for a takedown himself after getting it defended, but now Calibre knows that Trixie's holding him there, gets a trip there, disengages, sticks him against the cage. Lovely in cage awareness and footwork, and now here we see Calibre getting a straight down jabs, uppercuts again, the hook drops him, and this is looking like Calibre's going to finish him, but no, he doesn't, but the slam.
How is he alive?
I've never seen Trixie take a beating like this before. This is crazy. Like, it looks like he's a step behind and everything. And Calibre's kind of running away. Calibre's not letting it get to him that he can't finish him. He's just continuing the work, continuing the. Oh my days! I say that. And I might
Calibre's aware of the full guard at the top mount transition, and that's the one he's got to be aware of. If he ends up in back sitting, maybe he stands a bit more of a chance here, backside here. But Calibre's keeping tight on that defense. Not any shots being opened, denies to get up though, and this could be massive for someone like Trixie.
He's going to try and he waited too long there to see what his opponent was going to do. He tried to get a read on him, but he might have just given him a chance to block the initial transition transaction, and then he doesn't get it through and gets back to his feet, and that's a mistake on Trixie's behalf. He just still needs a knockout though, you know. I still think that his best work might be on the feet. He just needs to get the time, and hasn't quite done so yet. J Diamond continuing to try and get some sort of thing moving with the grappling.
I think he's going to either try to ground and pound him or sub him. Like, but I agree with it because I feel like his head health is so low to the point where anything that touches him is going to put him down, Humble.
Here, maybe an armbar impression. Can't remember if Whittaker has an armbar, but with 2 minutes left on the clock, we've just been going around in circles here every time this has happened. The ground and pound has been defended. We get back up, maybe expect another takedown. Seems like Whittaker may just be looking to get some type of decision loss, maybe. But so far, he's ducking under, looking to
It may not be
count.
over. Hold on.
It may not be over.
It may not be over.
Oh, no! Jesus, and that body now cracks.
Oh.
I mean, he has to throw kind of high risk moves, and you know, Cali's expecting that at the moment. Trixie's got to find something. He's got a minute left. If this man gets the win in the next minute, I swear to God, I will take the roof off this place, and I have a girlfriend and a kid upstairs in bed. They will jump out of their bed screaming because they won't know what's going on downstairs. I'm telling you that.
The jab stuns him, no, digs down to that body as well, goes for a body kick himself, does go that, digs down to that body again. He's starting to pepper that body with the last second, and he gets the KO!
He put him out. He put him out.
He hit that man with everything and the kitchen sink. You know, there's nothing else you could have thrown at that man. Trixie is so, like, even in defeat, he wins my heart. You know what I mean? Calibre,
he realised the kitchen sink wasn't enough. He went into the living room and got the sofa as well. He chucked everything at him, and still Trixie only just went down in that final 20 seconds.
Wow.
He threw everything you can throw at him to finally get him out of there. Like, everything. That was a beautiful performance thrown by Calibre.
That man
Let's talk about it.
die.
We have to talk about it. He picked Kyoto Machida. 3.5 star fighter as well. He fought Robert Whittaker.
He's not. He's 4 now because the update. He got a big buff.
That's good.
He got a big buff.
4-star fighter versus Robert Whittaker, who's many people's. He's the hardest.
the meta pick.
Mexican. Yeah, in the game.
Yeah. And he came out and did what he did today. That was a fantastic job, and even more fantastic when it's against someone like Trixie, Humble.
That's got to be a title shot. I'm sorry, I've got to call that there. That's got to be a title shot, right?
I mean,
if you do that to
Beef Rap
Trixie,
Dirty Day versus KO Caliber a title? That sounds like one hell of a fight.
I wonder what the people watching think tonight, because that performance from Caliber, for me, I don't believe that anybody else is knocking on the door like Caliber. He didn't even knock on the door, J Dime. He took a tank in a little door, just drove it over. That was
he blew that door down. He blew that down. He didn't just
That
walk in
door
the
is
door.
no longer in existence. But it has to be said, that was only the co-main event of this evening, Humble. Up next is our main event. We have CK Trials versus B3 Sean Corkery. CK Trials is undefeated, 9-0, definitely looking to be a PlayStation Go. Already is argued to be one. Sean Corkery had a massive dominating performance last week against Mr. Gemini, and this time around he's got Eugene McGregor as well, and he's looking to not get hit as much and hit his opponent back. Both of these guys are pressure style. Both of them know how to strike and put on the pace. It's just a question of who gets to lead the fight first.
Yeah, definitely. And CK, now I know CK because I remember like last week when Trials came back, he was representing. Oh, it's Cobra Kai. I've just remembered Cobra Kai. All my days. Let me tell you a bit about this. So Cobra Kai was a PlayStation a group back in the day team, and they were a fantastic team. When I first came around the scene, they were one of the biggest teams that they had, and they all kind of broke off into different areas, into LS and into War and into KIA. There's loads of different teams that kind of spread out in different ones, and then
See how you
War
put KIA out there?
there was a few different, there's people all over the place. So these guys have kind of come back together to rejuvenate that camp and really put it on the map. And, you know, Trials came back last week and won the belt for Cobra Kai and really did it. You only seen Sample War do it for them as well. So this team is on the map at the moment. I know they're going to be making a big run at Prime Time and the ESFL as well.
Yeah, well, Charles Ward only vacated his belt, came back, and he fought for a vacant belt this time around. Sean Corkery fighting for a belt for the first time, I want to say.
I think it is, yeah. But he's from that team, isn't he? He's from the B.
Who had a previous champion in the on-stage. You also had Blackout last week, who was fought for the belt. He's part of the B3 camp. So the B3 camp is well versed in fighting Trials and everything else. So you've got to imagine if you've got Leon and you've got Blackout, who you've already fought in that B3 style, you can imagine maybe Sean Corkery finally understands that key to take out Trials War. Well,
so many good teams, isn't there, J Dan? Like, I know we're about to get into this main title fight. So many good teams around the scenes at the moment. You know, it really feels like the teams are really pushing each other and making it happen in the community. And these two right now representing their teams, really going to put it on the line to try and show who the best team is and the best player essentially is in the world at the moment.
You said it right though. There's so many good teams that people can join and learn from in this community, and it's good. It's good to see. But now we got Dustin and Connor. What is this? This not the trilogy. What's after trilogy? What's the word for it?
Quadruple.
Quadruplegy. Sounds
I
like
don't
a
actually
fake
know
word.
the word for 4 fights, because the trilogy is a key word, but you know, it's got to be the quad, right? The quad fight. I don't know, the 4 fight.
The
It's got to be something like
quadrilogy.
that. But
There you go.
just too many fights. That's what they've had. They've had too
Yeah, they've
many
had too
fights.
many fights. Both of them are working the leg kicks. Both of them working the heel kick there. Coming out of the blue. Interesting to land against someone like the Mighty Trials. Now looking for the jab straight down the middle. Sean Corkery hoping to put on this pressure. Ducking under. Does get clipped with that split hook. Both of them are putting on this pressure. It does seem like this is the first time we've ever seen Trials Ward take a step back to reconsider how he's taking on this fight.
Nice work. He's really trying to assess the situation. Both guys are really doing a good job at the moment, but you know, it's all about getting revenge as well. If you think about it, he beat his teammate last week, and Sean Corkery is really good with Conor McGregor. He's Irish himself. He's looking to put the pressure onto Trials at the moment, and you know, get that revenge time. It means a bit more when you beat someone that you're liking, you know.
Yeah. And if you're Conor McGregor, it would mean the world if you beat Dustin Ash. It would mean everything to you.
Oh, 100%. Absolute 100%. And I'm liking the work Trials is doing. It's sneaky, it's nasty, and you're going to get hurt with a few shots right there. But if you're looking at the stamina and you're looking at the actual health stats, McGregor's is starting to creep down slightly a bit more. I can see them both going down, but I like the work that Trials is doing through that block.
I'm having difficulty commentating, so
Ooh.
I'm interested. There's just they're brawling, they're striking, but there's also that massive amount of technique. They're both using that footwork, stepping in and out of that range, making sure their jab is always established, making sure they're just in enough boxing range where they can hit but can't get a hit, and it's working beautifully as they engage with each other, working head to head, but also to a fact, also working that body. It's not very evidently, but it's very slow, it's methodical, as well as even the legs. They're just peppering shots from top to bottom here, Humble.
Yeah, they're really trying to gauge a weakness in your opponent. It's what you do as a good fighter. A lot of times, you try and find something that you can kind of stick to and hurt them, and see if they can adapt to it. You've got to try and find a weakness, see if they're going to adapt to it, and if they don't, it's an easy win. If they do, you're going to come up with something else, and that's what both guys are kind of do. It's a feeling out process, even though they hurt each other. Sorry anymore.
Oh, hold on. Nah, it's not
Champion.
over.
Oh, his champion's out. It's over.
That
Oh,
happened?
I didn't think it would be. Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa.
A
Wow.
dominant Tramp 9-0, taken out in the first round by B3 Sean Corkery. Unexpected, bit of a shock, first knockdown, and that is the result. Seems kind of anticlimactic, but
Oh.
sometimes that's the
No,
way
listen,
it goes.
listen.
That was a fight.
Sean Corkery just left 3 commentators speechless right there. We did not know what just happened. That was surreal, J Dime. I wasn't expecting Trial War to go out in that fashion in the first round, and Sean Corkery did it in fashion and managed to get the ground and pound off. And Jay, we see Trixie with his ground and pound defense. Trials wasn't able to kind of utilize his ground and pound defense, and ultimately got finished on the ground, losing his losing streak. But B3, as is said in the chat, lots of people right now, B3 on top. It is right now because the best player in the world is Sean Corkery in primetime MMA, and people are going to be gunning for him, including that Cobra Kai camp as well, J Dime.
Listen to me. I'm speechless because I seen him drop him. I didn't think it was going to get finished there. I thought he was going to survive, and he put him out. Like, he just left us speechless. Like, I'm still
On the first drop, on the first knockdown,
Mhm.
like there was no wasted shots there, Doctor. Every shot.
Yeah, they were going back and forth. They were engaging. They were happy. They were content. And
Yep.
that
One man just hit the button no. It ended that fight in a split second.
I'm done with this fight. I
Crazy
don't want to
ending.
be in the octagon anymore, and I'm just going to finish the champ who's currently 9-0, who's undefeated. That was some insane stuff.
And say
That
the
was
least.
a wild fight.
What a crazy! What's the event
Like,
over?
he really
That's
did
a
leave us all
crazy-
speechless. That was
That's a
impressive.
crazy event. That is absolutely insane.
Sensational is all I can say.
Yeah, that was sensational, fantastic. Condolences to Trial Board. Congratulations to Sean Corkery.
Yeah, definitely. And next week, Doc, we have, I believe it's 2 events on again. Friday and Saturday, is that right?
I'm not particularly sure about Saturday since UFC is on at 7 p.m. BST for the main card, so who's particularly sure what's going on there. But our next event will be on Friday, 8:30 BST, 3:30 Eastern. Hopefully by that point we won't be cooked here over in England. But with that all being said, this has been Primetime MMA. This has been our 64th pay-per-view of Primetime history, with the main event in Charles Ball sadly losing his belt. Trixie, the GOAT, also losing to Mr. Cam Caliber, so I expect to see Cam Caliber possibly in another co-main event, or even a main event next week, Humble. But Hank, that's us done for tonight.
Yeah, stick around for the rig, guys. Thank you for coming along. From me and the other guys in the commentary stream. Bye.